today in English, we have two sessions. One is a fireside chat with two amazing space entrepreneurs on the very topic of new space era, which was the theme of Outreach Sarabhai initiative last year. We wrap up with this final discussion with these two entrepreneurs. And the new theme of Outreach Sarabhai this year is the new space economy. The very objective of Outreach Sarabhai initiative is to bring newer or emerging space topics to the mainstream discussion. So you can see new space era or new space economy are not that conventionally discussed topics in India. So we want to bring that to the forefront. So we have a specially designed talk and discussion by Shubhajit Hajra, our co-founder on the new space economy, which will follow after this fireside chat. And yes, finally, I would just like to welcome our guests. I would just ask them to unmute just to ensure that they can speak because it's their day today.
I hope that I'm audible.
Yes, perfect. So we have with us Mr. Nandan TG and Ms. Dipti Ramesh. I would just like to take a moment to introduce both of them formally. Just a second. It has been not the first time that we are hosting one of them. Dipti has been on one of our panels previously, and it was the Young Space Forum. If I'm not wrong, it was in 2023. If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So yes, I remember. So today we finally have her as well as her friend and co-founder Nandanji to have a chance to discuss more individually, because in a panel there are so much of discussions that we do not get to explore one person so much, right? So today we have this opportunity and we are really glad that they have joined us. So just to formally introduce both of them, we have Ms. Dipti Ramesh, co-founder and CEO of BlackHole SpaceTech. She has been running since 2021 and also is the founder director of the Baahya Bramha Avionics Private Limited since 2023. And she has been a pioneering force in the Indian new space era, of course, like the space entrepreneurship ecosystem. She drives mission agnostic aerospace platforms, CubeSat designs, and high altitude balloon payloads and deep space mission prototyping and more. Her expertise essentially lies in embedded avionics and atmospheric sensors and system integration, backed by various trainings she have had before. And Dipti has also spoken on various platforms, including the NASA Space Apps Challenges or World Space Week panels, on young space entrepreneurs, and even celebrating Chandrayaan 3, inspiring many more people. And I hope that she will inspire our audience today as well. So we also have the pleasure to host today Mr. Nandan TG, who is the co-founder and director of BlackHole SpaceTech and Research and Education Private Limited. He along with Dipti, started this venture in 2021, and Baahya Bramha Avionics Private Limited as well. He is leading along with Dipti. So he leads this dual domain platform integrating aerospace research with technical education, focusing on spacecraft systems, satellite architecture, and transitioning research into industrial applications. And under his direction, the BlackHole SpaceTech has excelled in technical workshops and internships, while at Baahya Bramha, he oversees avionics and electronic systems for aerospace platforms. His expertise again lies in orbital mechanics, high fidelity avionics design, industry aligned trainings, and logical orchestration of stargazing programs like Beyond the Horizon Camp and Planetary Parade series. I suppose like recently there was one, right? So thank you again, Nandan and Dipti, for joining us today. I would just like to ask you both to just share something like before we begin with the discussion.
Thank you. Thank you so much for such wonderful introduction, Palit. And congratulations to the Life to and Beyond Foundation for its successful completion of 4 years around the sun, actually, indeed.
Thank you.
Really impressive. I'm really impressed and amazed by the frontiers you are exploring and the platforms that have been created by your foundation for our very own young space enthusiast. Normally, what we would have seen is most of the people's once they complete their undergrads, they want to fly off to different countries. But little that they know, they have all these opportunities in India itself since past a decade, as I am aware of. So this has been a wonderful journey throughout, and seeing the way Life to and Beyond is progressing, and I personally believe that in a very short span, you'll be one of those world leaders in the platform of aerospace as well as astronomy all over the world.
Thank you, Sibsankar, for actually inviting us to this such a wonderful platform. So, I'm actually we both have been following you since the past 4 years, and we have seen how wonderful you have been doing for this country. When it comes to pushing every single individual upfront, like when we want to actually push the students or push any people from India towards this space, it's quite difficult, and we see that there are a lot of questions that comes up, and our capabilities that we can see that it actually kind of a difficult thing. Many have this doubt about themselves, and many actually doubt others regarding that. But seeing that
Right.
how you do not actually stop yourself from doing this much at this level of support, giving this level of support to everyone, we are very happy to actually have such person with us and such a team with us. It's a great thing that you're like, it's actually quite a great thing that you and your team are doing since past 4 years.
Thank you very much, Nandan and Dipti. It is really humbling to get this feedback from your end. But essentially, like it is, of course, the team effort that has made all of this possible. Let's say, if we talk about this particular event itself, we had Swati Priya and Shubhajit Hajra coordinating yesterday, and day before yesterday, Shobhajit Barua and myself coordinating. So it is not just one person effort, but of course, like I think so that's the same for you both as well. I have been following, we have been following both of your journey as well, and that's why today we are here to explore more of your journey and most importantly, the very format of this fireside chat, what we have always seen that um, compared to lectures like one-way lectures or PPT presentations or even panel discussions where we do not have much time to explore one person or let's say interact much with one expert or one professional so much, the fireside chat opens up that opportunity to discuss more about a particular topic, and it's not just a one-way conversation where one person comes up and like says it all, and we don't know what is happening on the other side of the screen, right? But then at least in discussions and all, we can at least know that our audience is there. So I'll just like to unshare my screen. That's all we had for the presentation. Now it's time for the interactions essentially. So um, let's start the discussion with the very cliche question that I think so most both of you have often received. That um, like if both of you could just briefly share about how you started, like what motivated you to start. Essentially, means I have said it many times that for young people, no sound person, no sound person. I repeat it again, no sound or like mentally stable person can start something like this. Okay. So please pardon me if I have said something wrong. So I believe you come in that category like me and my team. So please share your journey. We are looking forward to listening from you. Yes.
Actually, yes. In fact, I'm very eager to share this our journey, like share our story of being in the entrepreneurship side of aerospace. And yes, it is quite interesting because uh, we when we started entrepreneurship, it was like officially we started in 2021, but basically BlackHole Space Tech was conceived way before that. Now if you see the background work or the back end work, that if we count that as well, then it goes beyond 8 years now. So there have been lot of instances
Right.
where we have figured out certain gaps when it comes to aerospace with the general public or aerospace with the industry. And repeatedly what we observed was there was inspiration all around, but there was a gap. There was a gap between the actual aerospace industry and the public or and the team that wanted to join there. There was a huge gap. It wasn't like a small stream. It was a river that was like flowing in a way to what do you say, in a high force. So we were supposed to bridge the gap. So, and this is one of it. While there is an interesting story which actually pushed us to develop this platform, because when we were in our engineering final year, I hope Nandan you remember this. So yes, when we were in the final year engineering, I was pretty into space industry, because as I have shared a lot of times on different platforms, I wanted to be an astronaut from the age of 3. It wasn't like I always tell that space chose me and not the otherwise. So I was into this, and my plan was to go abroad, just like everybody at that time. I'm talking about 2016 now, and almost a decade now. Oh my god, yes, that's really huge. And yes, and Nandan came up with an idea of developing a satellite as our final year project, engineering project. And I was we had already prepared a small prototype of our payload, atmospheric payload, and he wanted to take it big by final year. And we faced a lot of resistance when we wanted to do that. We had got to see people from different arenas in the society telling, no, if you want to go to aerospace, you cannot be an electrical engineer, because we share an electrical engineering background. So they were like, no, only aerospace people can get in, aeronautical can get in. In fact, people from pure science background like BSc, BS, they weren't aware that even they can be part of it. So it was
Exactly.
like, we are not talking students here, we are talking about the professors, the main engine that pulls students into the industry. So that is when we realized that okay, it is time for us to spread the awareness. It's not just we simply working on it. And apart from that, there was also a lack of what do you say, information as to how you can go ahead, how to gain knowledge, and how to make sure that you are approaching the exact problem statement you are addressing to. Because a lot of the times people have got so many ideas, but they don't know the way they have to take it forward. They simply go to Google, search there, Google, what's that? Google Scholar. Google Scholar
Uh-huh.
used to be the platform, right? They used to believe everything. So bifurcating between the actual knowledge, the availability of the knowledge, and connecting that with the industry along with the educational background, that was a greater challenge for everybody. And that's when we conceived the idea of creating a platform where we come up with the dual domain sector that actually connects research with the education. Normally what used to have was just education and just research. Suddenly, even if we just train them with the education, people were not aware how aerospace works, because everybody were used to the industrial IT sector
Right.
lifestyle. They had no idea that in aerospace you were supposed to work round the clock. For us, there is no 9 to 5. For us, there is no 8 to 4 or anything as such. It's round the clock. If once we have a rocket launch, and this was something that even ISRO was struggling to explain people with. And I think every space center in all over the world were facing this issue, because people had no idea that to launch a rocket at midnight, it takes a great deal and a huge number of team to do that, and a lot of work goes behind that. And people would have not slept straight for a week or 10 days. One or the other will be taking their places. There'll be a team that goes behind, and that was a particular exposure. And when there was a what do you say, privatization of space sector in India during 2019 and 20, that became a wonderful thrust for all these kind of space platforms to develop and get connected with the people, so that people
Right.
get an exposure. And trust me, I was quite skeptical when that happened. And the when we reached out to public, and their response to this particular domain was awe-striking. I was literally mind blown, mind blown, and the response that kept us pushing through. And today we are here, not just as a space platform, but India's first dual domain integrated aerospace platform for research and education together. It's not just the education, it's not just the research. We merge, integrate them together, and give an actual exposure to the aerospace industry and how they work in the background. and how they work throughout, in fact, and the technology that have been advanced. And I really admire the way ISRO has developed its missions all these years, the milestones. It's really, really commendable job. And I actually, personally, if I'm given a choice, I would like to train students to who stay back in India and progress the country. I mean, help in progressing the country rather than flying away to some other country and then helping them progress their space centers. It's better that our students who are so intelligent, trust me, people there,
Right.
half of it are from our country itself. It's from Asia
Mhm.
itself. So let us also give some efforts. And I'm a proud Indian, so I don't know. Yes, it is a word. By end of the day, when we look back towards Earth, when we are astronauts looking at deep space, and when we turn back, it's always one blue dot. It's always
Yes,
one blue dot. So yes, that should be our aim. And meanwhile, it's not just one country's job. It is not one continent's job. It's the whole Earth together. Even if one country stays behind, we lag a lot. As I told, it is one pale blue dot, the
right.
Cassini as it soars from the Saturn,
Mhm. Saturn.
from almost a distance of somewhere around 25 AU, I hope.
Mhm.
So, yes, it's one pale blue dot. It is not just one country. Everybody should come together, and India is one of those leading. I'm proud that India is one of those leading countries, and I'm also super, super, super happy and excited that India is not just an aerospace country. Now it is in the hands of young space enthusiasts who wants to explore the technology, build the technology, and go out into the orbit and just figure out that now the atmosphere is not the level, it is deep
Right.
space. So the horizon is open to everyone.
Exactly. Thank you, Dipti. I suppose you have answered many of the questions that I have designed, but then let's also have Nandan add something to this.
Yes.
Nandan, please.
So actually adding to that, she actually mentioned about one thing, how we actually started off having challenges during our engineering days. You were speaking about how mental we are to actually start this. I'll tell you, we have been called even worse than that,
Yes.
and it is
Just to
absolutely true.
be clear on this, I didn't call anyone anything.
No,
I
no, no,
just
no, 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 no,
wanted
no,
to
no. I'm telling you,
mention
no,
that
it is. I'm not taking it
those
as a
sound
negative
person
thing.
who would just
It is not at all
what
a
I
negative
mean
thing.
essentially is that people have those who have that capability to take risks
Exactly.
only go to
Yes,
this.
yes.
Yes,
Believe
That
me, I'll tell
is
you
true,
something.
Palit. We have been called names when we were in
Yes,
college.
and when you told
That is
mental,
true.
no,
There
that
is
is
no
actually not a
doubt
negative
there.
thing.
I think
When
every
you
one
told
of us
about
would have got.
mental,
I think even you can get connected with the
absolutely.
same.
that word mental, it actually tells us what we are actually doing rather than what we are not
Ah,
doing.
absolutely.
In during our engineering days, we were questioned about how are you? You are we are basically from electrical and electronics background, not directly from aerospace engineering. So the first ever question was, you are not. This was the direct thing that was told when we told that we are trying to create a cube satellite. That's what we actually we were actually developing a cube satellite for that. The first thing that they told us, it is not possible by you to do it. First one. Second one, you are not supposed to do it, and there is no way you can complete it. And we those three questions or those three lines that was actually told to like to us, that was not a barricade they put up, that was like a challenge for us.
Challenge.
They thought that it was a barricade. We are like, no, 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 I'm going to do it. Let us see who is going to stop me. We are like that. How and like how dare they tell this to us? That was the like we were too young for at that time, and we are like, no way, whatever it may happen, we are going to do it. So we fought our way through it, and of course we were successful in that. So after a few
Actually,
years,
very shortly, we were actually planning to release that particular journey of us because it had taken us 1.5 years to develop one. When we were in pre-finals itself, we had started preparation for the same, and there was a time when we were almost 75% completed the project. There, we had a person who told us that you guys are crazy for developing a project that was supposed to be done in the doctorate level or PhD or master's level. You guys have gone crazy. How can you do this? And that too, the challenge was it was during COVID. Believe I think it was onset of COVID. It was not even COVID, onset of COVID. So they were like, no, you are not going to get anything. Yes, the
oh
challenges
yeah.
were there, but finally, somehow we managed to develop one. Yes, and there have been lot of sleepless nights that has gone, and there were times when personally I was targeted, and I was called as the insane one, who actually brainwashed Nandan.
So what had
I can
happened was,
understand.
I
It
had
has
not
happened.
actually shown any, I was not speaking a lot about it. And our lecturers thought that I was completely into avionics system itself, but they did not know that whatever the electrical and electronic things that I was doing, that was actually related with space. They had no idea. When I completely shifted over
Mm.
to space, they thought that okay, there's other teammates who didn't want to do it with us because we were doing
Yes.
round around like at 12 or 1 a.m. We used to conduct meetings and they didn't like it. So our engineering friends left us. I was like, I don't care, we are going to do it.
In
Later
fact,
on,
our team actually
too
abandoned
many
us midway.
allegations came. But that actually what we call as it was like a platform for us to challenge us. Are you really, if you want to actually enter this particular domain, you have to be this crazy. So this is
Absolutely.
something that's it's like it is as you told, no, you when you told mental, immediately I came to know, yes, we are. This is definitely
The
the
other
truth.
day, just to like summarize whatever you have discussed, and for our audience especially,
Yes.
the other day I was reading a quote, and I think so that is at the core of all of this. In this unfree world, if you truly want to be free, become so free that your
Yes.
very existence becomes a rebellion, an act of rebellion. Okay, like as
Yes.
if you are like revolting every day to be free. Okay,
Yes.
Yes.
so like this is what it is. If, be it any person. Okay, like if you want to be free, and you need not be Kalam, you need not be Dipti, you need not be Nandan, you need not be any other. You have to be just yourself, the best version of
Exactly.
you.
Exactly.
And whenever anybody tells you you cannot, you must humbly say, okay, let's see. I will.
Let's see. Yes. Let's see.
Yes. So like they were
So,
like, are you are just chasing after the stars? There's nothing
right.
in this. I told that no, no, no,
Ha,
no. We are engineering our way to the stars. So that's all.
ha. Yes,
By the
yes.
end of the day. So that was the thing that actually started. Okay,
Right.
that ignited a passion. Like we already had that passion, but that
Hmm.
ignited something else. Okay, that
Exactly.
challenge actually kept us moving forward. Then we started meeting up many people. Different in this industry, we do not meet same type of people. We do not meet same type of background as well. We see BSc.
Right.
I have even seen met people from commerce doing very well in this industry. So
Absolutely. I know many
yes,
space entrepreneurs, those who are, let's say, business people essentially. They have
exactly,
may not
exactly.
have any foundation in space or
Nothing.
astronomy, but still they
So
are running their own businesses.
exactly, exactly. So once we started having getting in touch with them, our world opened up.
Right.
So then finally, we were all completely onto only avionics system. We were only completely into payload development. We were doing our research on that, and there was one incident that changed everything for us. Like we met engineering students like our juniors, let us say our juniors. Okay,
Mhm,
we had
yes.
already passed out, we are doing completely into our research. We had a talk with them once. It was actually based on a request from one of our professors. They told that can come and once have a talk with them. They are very inquisitive with us. Okay, but they were from aerospace department. We went and we had a talk with them. They told us, so we are trying a lot to get in ISRO. We are trying to get in this kind of industry, but the problem is we are not from IIT. They will not accept us. There are no other opportunity for us in India. Aerospace doesn't have any opportunity anywhere. So we were a little bit skeptical about like oh, something is wrong here. This is not actually what's happening. Then we started questioning them. What are their skills? What are their knowledge? The issue is with the educational system itself, because till their first, second, third year, till final year, till their pre-final year, they have been learning about aeronautics. Amazing subject. After that, they will learn about rockets. Superb. But what do you do with it? They do have no idea. They have learned it. They know all the calculation. What do you want to do with it? They have no idea.
They don't know.
Where do you go? Where will you go and implement it? They have no idea. Sir, I have learned it. That's it. Then
Exactly.
what will you do? Sir, no, sir, I'm joining IT. So this particular thing, we started questioning. Something is not right. Where is this actually leading? Where is this issue leading? As Deepti told, after doing a little bit of survey, we surveyed somewhere around over 1,000 people. I'll openly tell you this. We surveyed 1,000 people to exactly understand what the issue is. We came to know they have no idea what is space. They know space from YouTube channels. They know space from Googling a few questions. They know space if by any chance they have seen National Geography. That's it. Okay. BlackHole
Yes.
SpaceTech has started screen sharing. Ma'am, are you
Uh,
sharing something?
No,
India's Gateway to Space Research.
okay.
no. It is them. It is them. It's not me.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I'll just like, should I just
You
stop?
can go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead,
No
Palit.
issues, no issues, no issues.
Go
So,
ahead.
Okay.
so this was the thing. So
Yes.
after doing a lot of survey, we came to know that this is not happening. People know what is space. Okay, what
Mhm.
is space? It's something that we can look when we look up. That's it. We are a part
Right.
of it. They have no idea. We are stardust, right? As you told in the
Right.
beginning, we are stardust, but they have no idea what is the importance of that stardust.
Exactly.
We here people are fighting each other for many things, but they don't know that we all are made out of same thing. That's nothing but stardust.
Yes.
Okay, so fill this gap to make sure that people understand that whatever they have studied actually has practical implementation in real life.
Absolutely.
We made sure that research and education together will come up and help them. That's how finally Baahya Brahma Avionics Private Limited also came up. This also
Okay.
only research and education. What do we do after that? Don't worry, we have other ways to help you out as well. So we came up with the dual domain platform for educating as well as making them understand what is actual research and how to implement that. That we started helping them out in the next stage. So this is how we entered the space industry with a
And
passion
now,
as well as being called crazy.
right.
But I'll
Okay,
tell
we'll
you, we
come to
love it
that
when people call us
detail.
that. We
Yes.
love it when people call
Um,
us that.
right. We'll come to that discussion like in detail about how you started one more venture and why and what gap you are filling up. I'd just like to remind our dear audience to keep asking questions in the chat because it's not just discussing like about this space entrepreneurs and their journey. It is about you. You can be one of them going ahead, right? And today's discussion need not be just about the becoming of a space entrepreneur. It can be also how to enter into the new space sector, right? Let's say when you are pursuing your own studies or other things, how can you enter a space company or like fit in the various new space jobs that are coming up recently, right? So there are multiple ways of joining. We need people, those who, let's say, are, let's say, run an organization like entrepreneurs or like run something, or we also need people in that organization, those who work for that organization, right? The society runs with both. It's not that entrepreneurs are something great and those who are doing 9 to 5 thing is something bad. We need both kind of people. But then, as both Dipti and Nandan mentioned it rightly, that most of the students don't even have the idea of like what space is or how to enter the space sector, right? In fact, to the extent I would go on to say, we ourselves as entrepreneurs are learning a lot of things while steering the car on the harsh road or steering the flight in open atmosphere, right? So it is not that we know everything, but then we are just sharing our part of the journey, right? And your case study will be completely different. Just like Dipti and Nandan was mentioning that they were kind of challenged to the extent that they cannot do something and they are from a particular background and they cannot do it, but they have did it. They did do it and ultimately are taking it forward, right? There's nothing ultimate, right? Like you have to, one thing is done, you take up another goal. And so was the same case for Hajra and myself and other teammates of ours, those who are not directly from aerospace or physics or astronomy directly. Most of us, like we hardly have, let's say, out of 20 teammates, 2 to 3 or 4, those who are from physics or, let's say, direct astronomy background. Others are from various fields. Like myself, I'm from chemistry background. Okay, so I tried to connect astronomy with chemistry, and my strong part was science communication again. And then for Hajra, it was pharmacy. He's from pharmacy background. So how does a pharmacist, those who are, let's say, more into um, let's say opening a pharmacy shop, or like technically examining the drug quality in industries, how can they work in the space sector? But then how do astronauts like live, or like how do the medication happen? It's through space pharmacists and space medicine people, right? Let's take the example of Swati Priya. She is from data science person, right? She has worked on projects related to AI and data science related to space. So that's how we try to connect from every field, be it, let's say, chemistry or pharmacy or physics or engineering, as electronics, as Nandan and Dipti was mentioning, and all. We have to connect our own field to the space sector and understand where we really fit in, right? So I think so that kind of summarizes what we have been discussing till now. Now coming directly to the very theme of new space era. Now, the theme of new space era is a theme that we came up with for last year. We hosted a fireside chat session with Dr. Rajiv Gambhir from Satellite Satcom Industry Association last year in Feb, and then we also hosted Sunny Khabrawala, who is also an entrepreneur like you all, running the Star Lab Surat, and now finally we are hosting you all. So these few discussions with entrepreneurs or working professionals in the space industry, those who are into this new space. Now, just to define new space briefly, there is something called the traditional space, which is the traditional government or publicly funded organizations like ISRO. And then there's a new space, like the companies like the BlackHole SpaceTech, or Life to and Beyond Foundation as a non-profit, or Baahya Bramha Avionics Private Limited, or Star Lab Surat, or Satcom Industry Association. Non-profits, for-profits, and industry all together makes this new space, right? So that's in brief, but I would like to know from Dipti and Nandan what they think of this particular theme and how they are adding to this new space sector. Dipti, you have to unmute.
You're on
Yes.
mute.
Yes.
Yes. I hope I'm audible.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, okay. Actually, true, Palit, because I do agree with you that earlier it was institutionally concentrated. The new space era, as you told, it does represent the decentralization of the capabilities of people in aerospace sector. It was where before it was always institutional, and now it is open for everybody, and it represents a structural expansion. If you ask me, it is not just a private participation, but also it does involve certain amount of redistribution of these innovation bandwidths, because a lot of people have got many ideas that are just in papers or in their maybe scribble pads. So this new space era has become a platform for them to advertise or just represent their ideas of innovation, because the very first thing we concentrate here at BHST or Black Hole Space Tech is that no questions are silly questions.
Right.
Everything starts from asking questions. And we want people not just to answer their question, but also for a platform that people can ask a question. Here we are not here just showcasing our work, we are here providing a platform for those who have lot of questions about space and space science. So it's not just a platform not to ask why, but also to ask how. When they ask a question, we have got an innovation on the platform. We have got an innovation that is put out into the whole new world, and people start digging answers for that. Sometimes, while digging answer for something, they arrive at some other thing. For example, if we are going in search of X, we might achieve Y, and that Y is more beneficial than just X. That might lead us to X as well. That might lead us to A, B, C, Z, everything. So asking questions is what is most important, and this new space era, according to how I see it, is a wonderful platform for everybody to explore, to ask, and to just conduct certain events or be a part of certain events that actually answers their question, or it actually supports them. It motivates them to ask questions without thinking much, because ज़्यादातर लोग ना, they start just holding themselves back. They're scared to ask questions, thinking what the other person
Exactly.
might think about us. That is one major thing that actually is holding a lot of people, because when we are addressing kids, they just start, once they start asking questions, they start bombarding us with questions. When we had started BHST, I remember me and Nandan used to sit hours together in library and keep reading books, keep reading. It's not just books, it's the research papers, the current news, everything, articles, because we were supposed to answer those kids, not just answer them, bring down the rocket science to a version where even a first standard kid is capable of understanding as well as figuring out the next steps, what it wants to do in the space sector, so that it can be part of it, so that it can
Right.
realize it is also a stardust and explore more into this frontier. Because aerospace platform or a space science platform is an application. It is
Right.
an application where we need everybody from all parts of the society. So this
Agree.
new space era, as you can say, is that wonderful platform where people can come together, like minds can join hands, like all of us. As you told, BHST, BBA, that is Baahya Avionics Private Limited, the Beyond, Life to and Beyond Foundation. So a lot of people, SATCOMs, everybody, they come together, they put forth their ideas, they put forth their innovations, they put forth their way of approach, and we can
Right.
just get inspiration from them, more motivation from them. We can learn a lot from these people, because space is something you observe and you learn. There is no one way towards, it's like it's basically mathematics, physics and mathematics. There is no one way of approaching the answer. Everybody, if we
Right.
have got 1,000 people on board, there will be 1,000 approaches which are all valid. All we have
Hmm.
to do is try out and try to reach the destination. So I would tell that this new space era has opened up a huge amount of opportunity for everybody from every background. People, I would really like to tell you this, it's not just people from science, not just people from aerospace or anything else, it's also people from commerce, arts. It's for everybody. Lot I have even I mean, in fact, interacted with civil engineers who tell, what have we got to do in space? At least somebody else can develop. I mean,
Yes.
come on, who develops launch pads?
Right.
You launch the heaviest rockets and the earth is still standing there, the building is still standing there, the support system, the launch pad is still active, and you are able to relaunch launch vehicles from there. How is that capable? Did we come and do it? No, it were the civil engineers, the architects who
Right.
developed that. So this is some a kind of idea that we need to connect, as you told before, Palit, that connecting our lives with space is what is more important for us to define the new space. Now we have to see whether the new space is for us, is for others, or is it for the innovation, or is it for the idea to be incubated, or the
Right.
idea that is to be conceived, or the idea that is to be put into experiment, or the idea that is to be achieved. It is how we
Exactly.
think rather than how things are. Keep asking
Exactly,
questions,
exactly.
figure out the way out, and then go ahead, rectify it if you can rectify. Just get people who can guide you. We don't we There is no limitation. We have got so many people who are experienced. It's just the platform that is required. It's just the medium. Just like you cannot go talk underwater, right? You need a particular medium to converse like that. It's a sign language, or you can just connect with your com sections there. But that doesn't mean that the communication is stopped from when it is land communication between land and the water, right? The
Right.
same way with the vacuum, we have established communication between three mediums now. The three famous mediums: the vacuum, the atmosphere, and the water.
Hmm.
That itself is self explanatory how vast the system is. The moment you answer, and there is wonderful thing about universe, the wonderful thing about space is that it is waiting for us to ask questions. You throw
Right.
questions at its face and it's going to start answering you. All you need are your ears, your activeness to hear the answers from it. That's one major thing that we have to think when we are thinking about the new space era, opening our minds, opening our complete, what do you say, innovation towards understanding universe, what it wants to tell. Example, recently our NASA released the images of Pluto. Did any one of us think how it will be, how the surface will be? It was mind blowing, and Pluto is not even part of our solar system now. I mean to say, not
Like not a
considered
planet.
planet.
Ah,
It's a
Planetary
dwarf
system. They
planet.
have
It's a
just
dwarf,
kept
right.
it.
dwarf planets.
Yeah.
So now I feel, did we really do justice with Pluto? I really like it, man. I really love the way
Okay.
Pluto is. It's so cute. So
Hmm.
that's how things are. We have to go and just have patience to listen, because yeah, universe also tests our patience. It's not a thing that gives immediate answers. We need to wait, we need to have patience with it. But whatever we ask, the right now the pillars of creation, be it or a nebula, all those things are actually talking to us. They're giving us the data. It's not just we are looking at something. Even the black hole, the recent one, I think it was M75, right? Yeah. So all of them
On this
are.
note, Dipti, I just wanted to take this question, as you mentioned, like about the black holes and all. We have
Yes.
a question in the chat, so I think so it will be good if we take this question now. Someone asked that black holes are like mysterious things. Why did you select it? Maybe he or she they are asking about, like, why did you select such a name for BHST? To both of you, if you would like to answer it, let's
That's
keep
Oh,
the discussions a
definitely,
bit brief
definitely.
so that we can take more questions. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm really happy. I think Nandan, you were the one who came up with the name with an intriguing explanation. I think go ahead, introduce the name you
Okay.
have given.
Yes,
So
Nandan.
at the time of our company, like we planned, okay, everything is set now. What will be the name of the company? They asked.
Hmm.
So from my childhood, the one thing that always astonishes me, okay, that makes me always keep thinking about space, always like wondering what it actually is black hole. So black hole is something that can take anything and everything in it. It is not going to leave out anything. It is going to take in anything. You put up negativity, it will take it. Positivity, it will take it. You put anything into it, it will take it. Now, in the same manner, we as a company are going to take every possible knowledge. Astronomy, astrophysics, we are not going to let out any domain. We are not going to, like, we have few, at that time we were seeing that astronomy, when it comes to people who are into astronomy, they were not directly related with satellite rocketry. No, we are not into that. If people are into satellites, no, we are not into rocketry. We are like, we are into everything. We are not going to let go of any questions in this world. We want answers for each and every domain possible. Astrobiology, astrochemistry, astrophysics, we are looking at everything. We told that everything can only be held by one thing, that is black hole. So we are black hole space tech. We are going to be a tech expert who are going to not only simply just question and answer, we are going to keep everything with us. We want to make sure, like, you might feel that we are a little bit what we call as that uh we have that word, right? Immediately I forgot that word. Okay, people might call
Insane.
us that. Yes.
Insane.
Insane is something that we already are. Yeah, we are true, yeah. In Hindi, we call it as lalchi.
Oh, greedy.
So,
Greedy.
yeah.
Greedy, greedy.
Yeah. We are very much greedy when
Yes,
it comes to
greedy.
information and knowledge. So let us be as greedy as possible in this world. And we have never seen anything, any object as greedy as a black hole. It doesn't even let go of light. So we are not going to let go of any knowledge. We will take in everything. People, if any people call it anything, it's all right. We will take it. Anything good, we will take it. We will always keep everything intact, and we will make sure that the world goes on, and we are going to move along with it. That's what black hole
Right.
space tech is the name.
So, black hole is one of those celestial objects in the space that has got lot of information in it, but very less technology that we have to study it. Because the amount of questions we are asking about black holes and the very existence of black hole is very different, and it keeps us motivated, and it also shows our commitment towards exploring the deep space. That is one of the best celestial objects we can ever look at, because beyond which we have some knowledge about neutron stars, quasars, pulsars, but black holes are the one. Even to take an image of black hole, it takes the whole earth to become one. And that shows the unity we need to have towards studying these black holes. It's
And
just the
also its
size of a small
potential, the
5 rupee
most.
coin, but the amount of information it has, the amount of capacity it has, and if we have a black hole, like everything should be scared of it right now. So that is the power of a black hole, and that's what represents us. In fact, we represent. We personally believe that we also represent black hole, and that became a motivation for us to name this as Black Hole Space Tech, or as you can recently, it was incorporated as BHST
Right.
Research and Education Private Limited. So
Right.
that's
Adding to
what
this,
gives the name of black
yeah,
hole.
adding to this, there was one more thing that we had initially planned, and that was that it has the infinite amount of potential. There is nothing that it can't or it won't. That won't and can't should never exist. That's also one of the reasons.
Right.
Because
So,
Black Hole Space Tech is not just a platform that was developed by Dipti Nandan, that is being taken forward by Dipti Nandan, even irrespective of our very existence. Even if Dipti and Nandan are currently unavailable, or even if we are not there, this platform will always remain for everybody. It is open for all. So this is kind of a legacy platform that we are looking at, and that's the very reason it is black hole, because it's going to take years together. So it's not just one or
yes.
2 years.
Absolutely. So just to summarize, like I think so, our audience, those who have attended yesterday or day before yesterday, is getting a sense that means the difference between how entrepreneurs share their journey and how other academicians or other people share their journey. Because in today's like fireside chat, you will find many things that are coming out of passion completely, alongside the technical aspects. Okay, which may or may not be the case. Last 2 days, I'm not sure about the sessions, but then in case of entrepreneurs, you can see multiple thinkings. Like just behind the name black hole, you can see how much thinking or brainstorming has gone from both of them. Okay, so same comes with our name as well, Life to and Beyond Foundation, or any other. Okay, like uh, entrepreneurs are really really crazy people. Okay, so if you are crazy, you can take a try in this path as well. Yes. Coming to the next question, I think so. Like, just in the, I would request our speakers just to briefly summarize certain things so that we can have more questions at the end from our audience.
Yeah, yes.
Um, so, this, as you mentioned, that recently it has been incorporated. This Baahya Bramha Avionics Private Limited. So, are BHST and the BBA, both are the same, or like they are different, or like they have different purposes, and why there was a need for a second venture? If you can just connect the dots for our audience so that like different kinds of case studies are there in entrepreneurship. We would like to know yours.
Okay, this is actually a wonderful question that I think very rarely we get to hear this. People now know us with a lot of BHSTs and less of BBA. Let me tell you the difference. BHST is a dual domain platform which concentrates on research and education. Now, research, education, we have covered the education. Now we are into research. After that, what? How are we going to enter the industry? Now, to enter the industry, you need a certain platform for not just the research. Now, that connects the research and development.
Mhm.
Whatever we have done, there is a platform that is going to develop for you. So now research and development. So this particular BBA platform simply concentrates on research and development and deep space exploration. Here we are concentrating on developing those innovations and ideas that we would have conceived while integrating the platforms of aerospace as well as space science. Because when we are concentrating on education, it takes a lot of deal for us to develop as well, because we have got so many people from different backgrounds, and some people will not be so much of experienced. They might feel a bit intimidated when they are working round the clock. They need a platform that can support their innovation as well as develop it. So this is a platform that supports the innovation, that supports the research of BHST, as well as take its own missions as well and bring that to people. This is an entirely a different platform which is completely concentrating on research and development of deep space exploration, whereas PHST is a dual domain platform concentrating on education and research. There are three dots that are connected. As I told you, the gap is really huge, and the water flowing is also really very high impact, you can say, at a greater velocity, greater speed. So it is not just one bridge we need. We need to have it's section of multiple bridges, multiple connecting what do you say, contours, or multiple yeah, bridge, I would say, as a bridge that is required for people to shift from one place to other. Because directly venturing into it's let me give one mere example. Now we have got an student who have completed their undergrads, and now they are looking for a job. Directly they are like they would have got selected, they would have got their job, and suddenly they are put to some mission, and they have to work there. How will that be? Suddenly it's overwhelming. They start hating, see, because you cannot hate space and work. You cannot just simply keep on telling that, oh my god, yeah, I have to do this, I don't understand this, I can't do this. See, you cannot work like that. You need to be passionate, you need to love it, because universe is not just answers, it's also tests your abilities as well. Because every day you need to study, every day you need to improve your efficiency. So this is where the industry comes in. Bramha Avionics Private Limited is a proper aerospace industry that gives people an exposure as to how an actual industry works when it is on an absolute space mission. Now, whoever have got from education to research, now the next they will be redirected to research and development of their own missions that they would have come up with. That's the very reason, that's the very foundation that BBA has got. It has the foundation has the capacity to not just hold the freshers, but also hold the importance of an absolute mission that can go and study the deep space, not just around the earth, or not just in the long ranges of earth and Mars. It can go beyond that, and that is the ability of BBA Private Limited, or Bahebram Avionics Private Limited, where people not just can access the orbit, even go beyond it, even go beyond the solar system, even it can go beyond the interstellar space, and keep
Mhm.
exploring as and when it progresses. So that is the ability of BBA. That's why the platform has been developed for the freshers as well as the experienced hands.
Right. So, Nandan, would you like to just add in terms of like what kind of offerings BHST and BBA is currently dealing with, and also how you can differentiate? Like she mentioned the very motive, or how after research and education, the development part is complemented by
Yes,
BBA,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
So,
yes.
if you can
Yes.
just digress more in terms of the offerings that both the organization provides, so that our audience know and we also come to know that what kind of offerings are there from both of the organization ends, and can clearly distinguish between both.
See, when it comes to BHST, it deals with, as we already know, research and education. So when it comes to research and education, we have been offering a lot of courses in education part. We have been offering a lot of courses. We have been offering them like a lot of workshops. We are doing many of the outreach programs for that. So that's all
Mhm.
the things that we actually are offering right now at BHST. That's the fundamental things. The rest of things, I believe that you can, you have, since you guys are following, you would have already know.
Mhm. Right,
But
right.
when it comes to BBA, the most important, yes, thank you. Sorry. Sorry for that. So
Sure.
when it comes to BBA, it is completely different. See, in BBA, we actually are focusing on the research and development of payload subsystems. I believe that in the beginning, I told you that we were completely into only avionic systems of the
Ah,
satellite systems. Okay,
right, right.
now we are already into, we have been planning a lot of missions right now. Okay, so I'll just give you a small brief. It's one of the interplanetary missions that we are actually looking out for. Not just
Okay.
simple LEO satellites or geo satellites. We are actually looking for interplanetary missions.
Okay.
So we are completely into R&D of such missions. We want to build a foundational avionics system, okay, which is mission aligned system frameworks, not just simple we have been when we started BBA, we had a lot of requests for building a satellite just to launch. As on one new cube satellite need to be launched, and they will get the name, and we will get the money. So we were being offered like that by many institutions, because for they wanted institutional satellites. So we always told that no, no, we don't want to create more debris, which because it already exists. Okay, there are a lot of debris already there, so we
Right.
don't want to do that. If you have anyone who are interested in based, mission based work, then kindly let us know. We'll help you out. Not even a single institution came for that particular thing. Okay, the only thing is we are into actual R&D when it comes to BBA. Okay, actually, we are trying to give you
Okay.
actual what we call a real mission based solutions of payload systems of a satellite. That's what we are completely into. So we are also into human space missions. Yes, as a first year. Oh, sorry. Okay, so
Sure.
basically BBA is into R&D and especially into payload subsystems of satellites. So this is the main difference. We have other things that we can discuss, but it will take I don't want to
Yes, yes,
keep on
yes. No,
dragging
like
things on,
I
as you had
got an
mentioned.
understanding that means BBA has much more of the research and development compared to
Yes.
BHST, which is more on the education side. And even if it is research, it is actually teaching them research, right? How to do the research and all, right? Okay, got it. So
Yes.
now I can like clearly distinguish, as Dipti mentioned, the very foundation or the motivation behind both, and how like why both of it exists, and you have added the offerings. Now I think so it is much more clear together with both of your inputs. Okay, so I have one or two more questions. I'll just take them up quickly, and then come to the audience questions. We have a couple of them. Yes. Now, talking about startups, like especially when we are talking about for-profit organizations, the private limiteds and all, and private partnership firms and all. So these are a different category compared to the non-profits like ours, or let's say SIA India. That is a completely different thing. And again, for-profits are different. So when it comes to, but then both of it at the core, means money is an important thing. We cannot neglect it, right? Let's say for profit it's a different mode, for non-profits it's a different mode. Because
True, true,
like
true.
why I'm asking this, it's a very foundational question, because whenever let's say you talk to people that you are an entrepreneur, or at least I have felt it, that who is funding the organization, or where is the money coming in? Okay, it's a very, I would say, not that comfortable of a question, that at least to me. But then there are sources, and it is not just one source, right? Often. So just to reframe my question for you, like funding, regulations, and technologies are three big pillars. One is the money, another is the law based on which the organization is built. Because one is the money. People often think about the money, but there is also the law by which we have to abide and run the organization, right? Means there are so many paperwork that we do every year to run the organization.
True, true, true,
And
true.
lastly, the technology. Like like you are mentioning about this platform of yours, right? There's some technology that goes into that, or let's say the research and development, there's technology that goes into that. These three are the basic things that every organization, be it a for profit like yours or non-profit like us, both more or less it's the same. So for you, which of these has been the most difficult out of these three: technology, funding, and this regulations? Which has been the most difficult for you, and what do you learn from that very experience? Like in brief, very
Okay,
brief, if you can
now,
share. Yes.
yes, yes, yes. To be frank, all three of them are difficult.
Okay.
Okay, there's no questioning like which one is which. I'll tell you. I also saw this question as a from Dinesh as well, which actually connects to this. Okay, our most common mistakes we do as a startup, as well as a student. Okay, what are the mistakes to avoid? Let me tell you, the first ever mistake to avoid is, okay, not having enough knowledge. First ever
Hmm.
mistake we do. Okay, second, jumping behind money. Okay, and if you are going for that, then you are definitely doomed. Because I'll tell you, we usually never ever reveal this. Okay, you guys know, like when it comes to for profit, especially for private limited,
Right.
the first thing that happens is if you want money, grants is the second option that we get. Actually, the first ever option is that investment. We
Right.
have
Private
seen so many
equity.
investors. Okay, frankly, I'll openly tell you, we started as firm bootstrap, like completely bootstrap, and we did not take any
Yes.
money. Whenever
Yes.
investors arrive, the first thing they will ask is not what you have done till now, like that is first thing, but how are you going to return it? What are the returns are there?
Exactly. They will start
So
asking that how they can
we
exit
were
from this
offered
thing.
X crores. I'm not going to exactly tell you how much.
Yes.
We
Yes.
were offered
Sure.
X crores, okay, for our company. Okay, for a profit of 150% profit. I'm not even speaking about his original. What is the X? Okay, exactly in 1 year and 3 months. Like he had this kind of a thing. I told that,
Okay.
sir,
Like
I'm not
basically, like
selling.
just Nandan, just a
I'm not
second.
selling anything.
Just a
Yeah.
second. Just to summarize it, like the person A, let's call him or her or them A,
Yes, a
wanted
person
to
A.
invest X crores, and the condition was that with 150%,
150.
50%,
Yes.
okay,
150% of profit. Okay, as
150% of
like
profit, he or
that
she or
was.
they will exit within exactly
Yes.
1 year, 3 months, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
as
Yes.
like
Okay.
even ISRO doesn't do that. Even if ISRO tries to do it, it is impossible. He told that no, 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 no. Sorry, so sorry. It's not 150% of profit. It was together, like how he changed later. Okay,
Yes, yes.
so but basically, what the thing is, 1 year, 3 months was the only timeline that he could give, but he wants
Huh.
profit. I told we are into
Understood.
R&D. Okay, we are
Yes,
into research
R&D
and
for
development.
space takes
Even
decades.
after
Yes.
5 years,
Yes.
I
Yes.
cannot guarantee this percentage, or I cannot guarantee this particular thing that you're asking for.
Hmm.
Okay, he told, but this is so much of money, you can actually do this. Even before us, he is actually giving us ideas what we can do with that money. So basically, he wanted sales out of it.
Understood.
Basically, he
Yes.
wanted sales out of it because he had already seen the same methodology in a different company.
Yes, yes, that was
So,
one
Yes.
thing. People actually confused that with the commercial entities that have come up post the industrialization of space, and many people have confused us to be one of those. But we are not financial. I mean,
like
money
white
driven people.
labeling,
We are not
white
the
labeling,
ones
and
who
doing
do
that.
that.
This is a
See,
very funny thing. Just I'll take a moment here because you are sharing the perspective of for profit. I'll just share briefly about non-profits like
Yes,
ours. Okay.
yeah,
When it comes to non-profits, or technically the very popular term for non-profits in India is NGOs. Okay.
NGO.
Huh.
Yes,
So it is simply that you're a private organization, non-government organization. Simple in
yes,
the name only, right? But then the very like sense in the people, like you mentioned, the investor himself or herself or themselves has started giving you ideas
yes.
what to do, even without understanding what the company is. So people have this real audacity, I would say, to call us up and ask whether we are an orphanage, whether we are an old
Right.
age home. Okay, so you can understand. This is the
yes,
condition
yes, yes,
about NGOs in India. But
Yes.
essentially, what we are at our core is an educational NGO, educational non-profit, right? So there are wonderful names, and one of few of our collaborators are very well known in the STEM sector in India. Okay, so like not to mention that grants and all in India essentially come to academia. Okay, like
yes.
other private organization grants means you can understand like it is once in a blue
We
moon.
know.
Okay,
Yes.
Yes, yes. We know, we
and
know, we know.
yes. So this is a condition, but then yes, for like non-profits like us, it is the different problem. Okay, for like a non for profits like yours, it's a different kind of problem, but it is problematic, right? Yes,
Yes.
please continue.
So,
I just
yeah.
added to that. Yeah.
So, I was actually was telling. So this is how this kind of perspective when it comes to aerospace. Okay, and the first question is, and other questions they will ask is, people will ask is, okay, so can you beat, like I don't want to take the name of the major companies here, but it will not be good. Can you beat that X company? Can you beat this X company in this many years if I invest? I was like, first of all, understand we are not into rocketry. We are not into this. We are only into payload. To make them understand, it will take you a few hours. After
We are not
understanding
the
that,
our the gap filling that you all are doing is not the same as other. right? Then how can you
Yes.
even
Yes.
compare it?
They start, it's not just compare, they just try to introduce that sense of competition amid. And
Yes.
they forget that we are not here to compete. We, in fact, by end, at some point, we all come together. It's just that we are branches of the same tree. We are just the
Yes,
branches. They forget that, and they start competing with the next branch. Like, how can a tree grow when the branches are being cut?
right,
We are not here to cut the branches. We are here to grow together. Just like how we have taken up payload, somebody else would have taken up launch vehicle. Somebody else would have taken up the gimbals. Somebody else would have taken up the nozzles. It's just
right.
somebody else would have taken up the education. Someone else, like, see, you have got so many branches that we all
Yes,
come together at one point. And think about that, when all of us, like, just imagine the individual capacity of all of us, and what will happen if all of us come together.
exactly. The
Individually we are
tree's
So
performing
foundation
this well,
itself
and what
will be very
happens if
strong.
everybody comes together? Just imagine the result. You can't even just expect, there is no expectation, you just know there is a power that is coming in. It's by
Right.
end we are all one unit. But that is the investors won't think about that, because all they are caring is their profits, or their
Yes, that
share
is.
of money. And that is true,
yeah,
because
that
if
is
we start looking at their POV or as well, and what they're asking is also true. It's not just always investing, they should also
Mhm.
get something in return, right? And for
Right.
that return, we need an extra amount of energy. It's very, if here our concept and our experience of handling kids comes in,
Mm.
because just like how we simplify the rocket science for the kids, the same way we have to simplify our vision and mission, our objectives to those investors. And yes, we have, if it is not just people who go with some fantasy kind of a thing, or just compare us with other entities, but we do have some crazy people like us who understand our mentality as well.
Right.
They be like,
okay. A small thing.
okay,
Sorry, sir. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Okay.
yes.
Just to complete with that, one thing would just like to conclude on my end when it comes to this. One is investor, another is knowledge, another is the technology. Technological
Yes.
part, it is one of the biggest challenges you will have when it comes to aerospace. No one will give you technology open-handedly. When
Yes.
we
Yes.
started, it took us years to understand technology rather than get that technology. You cannot get any technology. You can buy technology, you have millions of dollars. That's how we are going to get. Okay, if you
Yes.
want to understand technology, you have to go through hundreds of research paper. First, go through the lines. Okay, it is related to your, then you have to do it. And Googling will not at all help you. Even ChatGPT won't help you. For many of the students that we
yeah,
get, sir, we
actually,
have chat.
recently people are thinking that ChatGPT can take up everything what we are doing. No, you
Yeah,
just really,
exactly,
it's not
exactly.
that way. It doesn't work that way. Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
So
AI is
ChatGPT has
based on
been
what we have thought out. It cannot think
exactly.
something extra.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
People
yes,
think
yes.
that if we ask ChatGPT, I want to build a rocket, okay, it will guide, like it will start giving line by line guidance on how to build a rocket. That kind of
Exactly.
a mentality people are developing. So technology is one of the biggest questioning. So technology have so first thing always people have to do is go with the technology first, learn about technology, get the knowledge, whatever the in whatever form possible, then you build something, then you go for funding. Okay, so we started with bootstrap. We literally were for few years, like first, even before this particular BHSC started, we were doing it as a club on our own. We
Mhm.
gain knowledge like anything, like to just gain few knowledge. We have gone like far and beyond. Okay, we have gone from city to city as well to talk with people to gain some knowledge. Then we have gone from one state to another state. For that, we have mainly for Tamil Nadu, and we have gone to Ranchi. We have gone to, like, we have gone to different places. Also, we have worked over there as well. But mainly chase after the knowledge first. The knowledge, once you get it, technology, you have to develop it on your own. If you have money, you will get it, or else you won't be able to get that technology. So you have to build it. That's how you will be able to go beyond. See, ISRO is
Convince.
doing a wonderful
We need to
job.
convince people. We need to convince
Exactly.
the investors. We need to convince the entities that want to invest that you are capable of doing it. There should be a justification done, because I have seen a lot of people who are having capacity to develop things, but they lack funds. And the major part is actually making the opposite person understand your ideology, the proof of concept, everything comes down to that, how well you are able to make the person in front of you understand what you are capable of. Because many a times they will not be from the background we share. They are from a very different background, entirely different background, where some of them
Exactly.
wouldn't have even heard about this particular genre or domain. So
Mhm.
the very important aspects here when we come to this investments and other things is how well you can explain, how well you can put forth and articulate your technology, your capability, so that they can understand and also invest. Because a lot of times we will be having the proof, we will be having the technology, we will be having knowledge, everything, but if we fail in explaining them in what do you say, you can say that in the layman terms, they need
Mhm.
to understand things in layman terms. That is where your expertise comes in. That is how you get people, and not just getting people, also convincing them that if they invest here, it is very profitable for, just a second kindly, yeah, profitable for them, and they can also progress along with us. And this is not just a one time investment, it's a recurring one. Because as Nandan told, information, gaining information, it never stops. No matter
Right.
what happens, the knowledge gaining never stops. It always keeps on going. So that is the major part, articulation and convincing. This is the
Mhm.
most important part when it comes to pitching, or when it comes to sharing our ideology to those people who would like to invest, or who would like to at least know how they can be part of this particular entity. It can be
Exactly.
any entity all over the world.
Like
So I
talking
just,
about this. Yes,
yeah,
Nandan, please.
just like to put up one particular this quote that we always have this in mind,
Hmm.
that capital can actually launch you into orbit. Especially when it comes to our satellite systems, we always tell money. Capital can launch you
Yes.
into space. Okay, but only the conviction can keep you in the
Yes.
orbit. That's the final
Ah,
thing.
great.
Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Our outreach and HR officer writes in the chat that another $1 million question we often get. Like, I
Yeah,
think
I
so.
read.
Because we both, like from your end and our end, we deal with education as well. That
Yes.
can you supply us ISRO scientists for our events?
As if we are keeping with him everywhere we go. The people do ask us that.
That is a
Literally, sir,
very
whenever we tell
uh,
that we are doing a work, this is one of the best things. Yes, I remember.
uh,
So we were doing a session on in I don't want to take up the university
uh,
name. They had requested for a workshop. They
mhm.
are asking, sir, so ISRO scientist will come and teach us, right? I was like, if a ISRO scientist will, I literally told the head of the department this, if an ISRO scientist is coming and teaching you, either there should be two things. One, he is retired. Two, he has been kicked off from ISRO because he's not doing his work. Or else there is no way an ISRO scientist will come and teach you students for a two
Absolutely,
days
that is a very
workshop.
difficult thing. Like it
Yes.
may sound controversial to our dear audience,
Yes.
but then it is a rude fact that like it is quite difficult to
Yes, and
uh,
retired
like
people won't be even having the energy to teach these students. That's
that
why
is
I
there.
use
And
that.
exactly, like they already are up with too much of work, and getting
Yes.
Yes.
permission out of ISRO, like government organization, to even come and represent ISRO, like hardly you may get one speaker a year. That is also like it.
That's all. Yes. True, 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 true.
Okay,
Actually,
and
most
it
of the
is
times, yes. Go ahead.
it is very, you can say, difficult when schools and universities and colleges demand for every session a month taken by an ISRO scientist or
Yes.
Yes.
We do have faced it. We do have faced
And
it a
ex-ISROs,
lot.
and they won't even request for ex-ISROs or retired people.
ah,
I have a lot of list of them. That no, 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 sir. I
even
want a
to
person who
the
is working
extent,
on this
if I
project.
may, they expect astronaut and chairman ISRO to leave
Yes,
all their
Yes.
work and come and give lecture.
yes. Because schools now, they want to showcase that their school is something big, because a person
Exactly.
from this particular institute has come and visited them. Because for them,
Right.
that becomes a branding kind of a thing. So they
Everything
want
is
that
Just like you
particular.
advertisement for
mentioned about the
them.
institutional satellites, right? This is also a
Yes,
branding strategy, practically,
yes.
right?
It's
Just
a
only
branding
branding,
strategy.
money branding,
Yes, yes.
advertisement branding, nothing else.
Yeah, as
They simply
Nandan told,
want
na,
their name to be put up. in newspapers or something, it needs to be ending up
Yes,
with
yes,
that.
yes.
We have launched a satellite. Does it do anything? No, no, no. It tells us where
No.
it is. That was done in
Actually,
1967 as well. From 1960s, 1957 also we have that.
Uh,
We know that the satellite will be in orbit. That too before it becomes a debris within few hours of its launch. That has also
like
happened.
it is
Within few months, it
even
will become a debris.
even
actually,
it is hilarious to even realize that if every, let's say every, let's hope that every college batch from every engineering student of India
yes.
launches a CubeSat, small, okay, on nanosat. Just think the pollution, the space pollution that will happen
Exactly.
in orbit, okay, and the carbon pollution because of so much of launches taking place,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And for what? Because our university has sent the
Has
CubeSat
done it.
inside.
Yes,
It
exactly.
is sending
That's
us
why
where it is,
actually,
what
yes,
information. It is
yes,
taking
yes,
photo
yes.
from orbit, one or two maybe, okay, and then it is a debris. But then how to collect the debris, how to bring it back? No. It is the typical, I would say, our people mindset that we do not even care to throw a wrapper like here and there
Yes.
after having food instead of keeping it in our pocket, even a chocolate wrapper, right? I've seen my own parents to the extent that when I keep a chocolate wrapper in my pocket, then they go on to say that what will happen? Like
What
there is
will
so much
happen?
of
कुछ नहीं
but
Yes.
होता है.
Yes.
but
कुछ नहीं
then
होता है.
I
Yes.
have to play my own part, right? That
Yes,
free
actually,
education would
Palit,
not mean anything if I be like many others, right?
yes, yes. Actually, to add on to your point, I would really agree to your point that yes, being the front runners of space sector right now in the current India, as new space era has entered, I think it should be our responsibility to make sure that we don't create debris in space
Yes,
how much ever we can. I can just tell that as an entity here representing multiple entities, I can say that yes, as far as I can tell, we will not launch a debris to the orbit, so that we will make sure that our part as people who would not just support such kind of thoughts. Really, we are ready to launch rockets, but once the objective is achieved, we will not launch satellites, we will not launch vehicles just to advertise our own things where it starts becoming a debris. But if you have got any ideas that that solves a purpose. See, being an engineer, my core work is to find solutions to the either prevailing problem or the problem that we have come up with while going ahead. So
right,
just if it is serving an objective, certainly we will support you. But if
exactly.
you're planning to just send a payload and try to just work it for 1 hour and then it becomes a debris. See, what happens here is people really need to understand this thing. You are sending a satellite, but there is nothing that can stop it from harming the healthier ones that are actually supporting your lifestyle day in, day out. What if that
Exactly.
gets disturbed? What will you do? You again start blaming the people who launched it, right? Little you know that your own satellite has gone and troubled the healthier ones. Here we
Right.
are testing, but what about the ones that are actually building our
Already there.
lifestyle? So this is
Hmm.
something that we need to have. This is something as front runners in as representatives in space industry. I think it is our responsibility to make sure that we spread awareness among people as to what how we have to take up the launches of payloads, how well we need to address this particular situation. Maybe clearing out the debris is our second problem. The first problem is not to spread the debris. We still have time. Unlike our climate, we still have time not to create a mess in orbit so that we can go through survive. See, just imagine recently there was a complete, I mean 2 years back I believe, just because there was a debris hit, Sunita Williams was stuck. Who will take responsibility for that? It was just mere 2 lives, right? But
Right.
in next 10 decades, I mean next 1 decade, there will be 10 lives, 50 lives, 100 lives, again a population complete section. What if that small nut or a screw, people might tell, Arey, wo to, it's just a small satellite or a small nut or bolt. But just imagine that nut or bolt coming at a speed of a bullet. What will happen? They will
Actually,
just
four times the speed of
pierce,
bullet.
yeah, pierce through the walls of our payloads, walls of our station. What will happen? you all are going to face the consequences. And also because of some debris, while dodging a debris, ISS lost its control. It completely went 1.5 turns, 1.5 tumble. All those
Right.
things are very dangerous, because we are staying here, we are safe. What about people who are there? They don't have
Right.
anything, even to come down, even to land. There is see, people need to realize that when we are coming down to earth, when we are approaching the earth, when we are landing on earth, there is no mechanism that can stop us. That there is no mechanism. The only thing we are dependent on is parachutes,
Right.
that too deployed on the exact time. Even if a single second of delay, then gone, everything is gone. So when that is the kind of challenge that the nature poses, sometimes I think we need to take a back seat and think, what are we giving to the nature?
Hmm.
So
Exactly.
as yeah, so this is one of the things that we should be responsible. But I'm not telling that we should not launch and everything. Yes, absolutely. But we have to be responsible enough not to cause trouble to the other healthier satellites, other payloads that are actually helping the complete humankind sustain on Earth.
Right.
This is most important for us, and I think I personally believe that I can say for everybody here, not just the uh, Life to and Beyond Foundation or BHST or any other space entity for that matter in India and all over the world, that we are not just developing payloads, we are also making sure we take the responsibility of making sure that we don't spread debris there. But that doesn't mean that when we send a satellite, it suddenly stops or something. Yeah, that is something that happens. But simply launching a satellite just to make something or make a point that we
Mhm.
are one of them, I don't think that is a kind of a point that we need to
That is
address. Come up
right.
with an
Exactly.
objective, serve a purpose. Let's launch together. It's the most
Right.
happiest moments. Even if it fails, no issues. But
Right.
don't take space for granted. Don't do that. That's what
Right.
I would say. And
Thank
I
you very
believe that
much.
we all represent
Yes.
safe and responsible launches.
Yes. On this very note, we'll quickly take some questions from the chat. We have already one hand raised. We'll come to that audio question in a moment. But then we'll take two questions from the chat, and I would request again our speakers just to briefly answer it as much as possible. One of them is from Karnik Shah. He asks that as a first year CSE student who is really interested in integrating computer science with physics, I'm very curious how I can start contributing to BHST. And as are there any internship opportunities or other at the early stage as well? If you can share, please, in brief, please, so that we can take one or two more questions. Yes, Nandan, would
Yes.
you like?
Yeah,
Okay,
Nandan, go ahead.
I was actually waiting for her only. Yeah.
No, I was
Yeah.
actually waiting for
Yes,
you.
Dipti, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
okay, Deepti,
Shall
It's
I?
please.
okay. So yes, I can you just come up with the name again?
Karnik Shah.
Karnik. Okay, yes, Karnik. We do have, in fact, the registrations are open for 12th batch of satellite engineering internship at BHST. I would say, as a first year engineering student from CSC background, I believe this particular internship will be a bridge course for you to connect with the payload development as well as connect with your current education system as well. This will become a handy experience for you to go ahead, and once you complete internship, there will be a lot of opportunities that will be laid on to you by BHST as well as BBA, where you can continue your research. Because yeah, this is one thing I would like to tell everybody, that at BHST, internship doesn't mean just a course where we teach and you learn. No, it is completely based on the research ability. We are completely research based platform, where even the internship you are doing will be based on a research work, research objective. So you will also have an experience to the research domain of space. So there'll be a lot of opportunities, and internship is one of them. And if you go to our website's page, internship page, the registrations are still open. You can register there and get selected for the internship. I would say internship are one of the foundational opportunities that people can get connected with us.
Right.
To adding to that, I would just like to tell you one more thing. So it doesn't matter that which background you are from when it comes to our internships. Okay, we have had internship background from even civil engineers as well who have done wonderfully in their internship. Internship, we go mission we go mission wise internship based on whatever the background you are from. Okay, we make sure that whatever the objectives that you get, whatever the internship that you are going to do, it is going to line up with what you are studying itself. So it is going to be quite helpful for you guys from whatever the background you are from. Okay, we have a lot of interns who actually previous interns who have thanked us for the same thing. Okay, we had students from CSA background, civil background, mechanical background, all of them who have even back to jobs in many places. Okay, where they had told that thanks to this particular internship, it helped me to develop something further. Some person studies avionics in satellite system. He implements that in drone system. He has implemented that in different subsystems. He was able to analyze and understand different types of electronics because of that. The person who came for designing, he told that it was quite crucial for us to learn about this because he was able to use that particular design system in a different manner in civil engineering. So it depends, but definitely each and every domain will be able to get something out of this. That I can guarantee of.
Yes. Thank you very much. We'll come to the next question. That is related to space entrepreneurship. So it's by Dinesh S., who seems to be a college student. He says that what are the most common mistakes first-time startup founders make in India, and what should a college student start doing today to avoid those mistakes and be in an industry-ready person in the next 3 to 4 years, especially considering how challenging funding is becoming for more startups, space startups. So, if you could just briefly summarize what challenges or mistakes one can try to
Definitely,
avoid.
actually. Previously, I had read the same comment while I was explaining about the funding, how challenging it will be.
Yes,
So I'll just keep it short so that
yes, yes,
Dinesh,
yes.
that you will be able to understand. The first and foremost important thing when it comes to being a founder, the first challenge you will get is to understand the domain. First issue is that how to make others understand, not just you. We will be able to understand the domain, but the other person will not be able to understand the domain. So first interaction. Okay, then as a startup founder, as I told you, I was at that time I told you don't run behind the money, just first run behind the knowledge. Okay, gain as much knowledge as possible. Okay, and during the funding is one of the most important thing. First, know the person, okay, who is trying to invest. What is he behind? Is he behind your technology? Is he behind your innovation? Is he behind your vision? If your visions align, then you go for it, or else kindly don't go for it. Yes, they might give you money, but by the end of the day, in the long run, you're going to have a lot of issues. Think about the long run. Okay, chase behind the knowledge, get enough knowledge on technology, go for development. Don't run behind direct money. Go behind the vision. Okay, just make sure that whoever is trying to get along with you, it might be your friends, it might be your family, it might be a relative, it might be someone you know, whoever wants to even join with you as a co-founder or join your company, make sure they have vision that aligns with you. That's a foremost thing as a co-founder or any founder should do. So that's it.
Is actually adding on to yours, Nandan, and the very best thing most people do is perseverance. The moment, see, being entrepreneur is not just a happy face. There are a lot of faces that we don't reveal outside. There are phases where we literally start crying. We literally start crying. We cry so much, or we just hate ourselves so much for not being able to do things that we just want to leave it and go. But no, that is the time you need to actually hold on to yourself, put yourself together. There are a lot of times where I have broken into pieces. I just can't even count now. It is countless. It's always, I think, Palit, even you can, Nandan, you can, Swati Priva, I think you all can get, connect with this as I tell that, yes, there are some things where you need to really be strong. Sometimes you feel like it's all done. Nothing can be done. I mean, ho gaya. This is a dead end. No. The moment you feel you are hitting a dead end, that is just a turn. It's not the end, it is just a bend. Always remember that it is not an end, that's a bend, and that's what makes you an actual entrepreneur. Because I have seen a lot of people coming with wonderful startup ideas, not just in space but within many other domains, and within just a span of 2 years or 1 year they say, "Arey, we cannot do it." and we are just letting it go. They don't even think the innovation they have come up with. It's not always the success. So just stand there no matter what happens. No matter what happens, just stand there. Be persistent enough, because today's people might not believe you, but tomorrow certainly they have to. My father used to always tell me this. Now he's no more, but he used to always tell me this, that beta, whenever the graph goes down, the next thing that should happen is the graph should go up. It cannot go down more. It cannot go down anymore. The only thing it has to do is go up itself. So wait for the moment until it goes up. And not every opportunity is your opportunity. Some may pose as to be being an opportunity, but you should just take a moment and look whether that opportunity is really yours.
Right.
Not every cup of tea is ours. We just need to let go of some things as well and grab onto the some certain things that come at unexpected moments. So you have to be ready for everything and always have patience and trust yourself. No matter
Exactly.
what people tell, trust yourself, trust your instincts, and that's what most of the people, most of the startup, most of the entrepreneurs in their initial years will face. And just don't let it go when things go south, because whatever happens, it is your baby. No matter,
Yes.
even if it cries, even if it's happy, even if it is sad, it is your baby. It is the idea that you have conceived. Just stay with it. It needs you at that time. So just stay with it no matter what happens. Baki sab, it's next. Just stay persistent. Keep trying, keep
Yes.
trying, keep trying.
Yes.
Absolutely. I
Just
think
a
so.
thing, like
Yes.
our website, it is showing that applications are not accepting. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was actually postponed. Last week
Yes.
it was closed, so it is not open now. I think by tomorrow it will be open, Karni. So
Sure.
you can.
When it is open, if you could kindly share the link in the group, both of you, I sent you
Absolutely.
in the
Yes.
WhatsApp group.
Definitely,
Either
definitely.
of you are there. It will be very helpful. Thank you. I think so. We are almost at the end. We'll take one last question from Swati Priya, who raised her hand. Swati Priya, if you could kindly unmute. Um,
Yeah,
yes,
Palit.
Swati Priya, please.
Hello. So actually, I raised by mistake, but still, I have a thought to add. When we were talking about
Okay, sure.
schools and colleges reaching out for scientists, and it's all about advertisement at that point. But if you realize that same schools and colleges do skip concepts when it's time to rush up in syllabus, when they are
Yes.
actually have to do work, and also practical classes are taken in theory. If you take this and this will happen. But should I imagine everything, then how it is practical? So what do you think, like how we are going as a community, as an ecosystem together? How do you think we can save the upcoming generation from such thing, do you think?
Um,
Okay, this is something that will go as a debate rather than a discussion when it comes to this.
In
So
brief, in
actually, I had a
30
debate
lines
once
maximum.
regarding this with a this one college professor as well. When it comes to this, people have one thing in mind. It comes to education system itself has a flaw. The education system has a flaw. Education system aligns, it is the education system came from very old concept. I don't know how many of you know this. The education system was not created to create entrepreneurs. It was not created to create new things. It was created so that you can build new employees. Exactly, employee itself is the exact term. In the early days, when there were a lot of entrepreneurs and no one used to get proper work, they created this particular system so that workers can be generated. Gradually, it went on for engineers, like engineering, science. In every background, it started going. They will gain knowledge and in one particular domain, and they will start working for the particular domain. But in here, okay, in most of the education system, they will never try to implement something that is actually directly related with entrepreneurship or something new out of their syllabus, because that will not in turn give them jobs. So when the education system itself is flawed like that, we cannot expect them to teach. So what we have to do, we have to do something from our end. So this was also one of the most important things. That's how BHST started to emerge. Many of the institutions openly told, sir, you are right, we are unable to provide this. So kindly do support us in this. But at the same time, they will say, sir, but one thing, we have whatever the course you are going to give, kindly make sure that it is not in our teaching hours, because it is going to have implement that it will in turn will have us
Effect.
like a lag. Okay, it will in turn will lag us in our syllabus. Our syllabus must not be touched, but you can do whatever you want. We will give you this many hours per week. I was like, wait a minute, in which hours are you giving, sir? Our their playtime is there, sir. We will cancel that and give you. I was like, I'm trying to get them interested in space. I don't want them to start hating us because they are not
Hmm.
getting their playtime. I openly told that. By the end of the day, education system will not allow new things easily, but they will allow it. But in that particular way, like in what way can we actually approach them? Okay, we have a lot of other ways that where BHST developed over the years, where we can approach them in a manner they will not it will not going to hurt the education syllabus or hurt the education institute itself. But whoever is interested in space science and technology, they will be easily able to approach us and continue. Okay, we have students who have been from age of fourth standard. Okay, we have some multiple students who are pursuing courses under us from past 4 years. Exactly 4 years. They are like they have some Olympiads and all. Their parents actually call us. Okay, that in the beginning they used to call us and actually have fight with us. They used to complain, sir. Whenever I tell them to study, they are taking out your books to study. Tomorrow he has a science test and he is actually studying your space science and technology and arguing with us that this is science, this is also science, you don't know what, like that they have questioned him. So by the end of the day, students are interested, parents actually want their children to actually learn as well, because the same students and parents are still
I'm afraid there's some network issues.
continuing what they want.
Yes.
This, they love
Yes.
this, they just need a way, they just need a pathway, and we are creating that pathway. There is no way for us to implement it directly with the present situation, present educational frontier, because the system doesn't allow it directly. But due to the but because of the recent things that I'm able to see, I think it is not far-fetched to say that it is going to improve in educational stream as well. How in STEM they are trying to add space. Okay, so eagerly, even students are trying to approach space. They are not only fascinated, they are also getting that desire to learn.
Right.
So most probably even in schools they might implement it, but till then there is no other choice. But other than us, for we might be private entity, we might be NGO. We are the only ways that we can actually not only simply approach them, but actually help them in whatever way possible.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Satyapriya, I
And
hope.
also,
Yeah.
yeah, I did get what you said. And also there is another question. And when you said debate, I remembered one thing. There is a show called Nia Nana in here. In that debate, there is one person who said that I have cleared all my papers in my aeronautical engineering degree with distinction. But if you ask me something, I don't know. I simply don't know. And do you think there might be an educational revolution where students actually understand what they're reading, other than this
Definitely.
rote learning?
Definitely. There's a wonderful thing that you asked. See, during while I was speaking, okay, like I had already told you once that when we did a survey of over 1,000 people, okay, the first thing we came to know was they have completed their engineering. They have been studying about it, but they don't know what it is. They know if they know what it is, they don't know why we are studying that. First, the most important thing, they don't know why they went along with it. I had good marks in aerospace. If you have good marks, you can get in. I went into aerospace. And the worst part, they don't know where to implement what they have studied.
Hmm.
Okay, if in any interview they go and they ask, everything is fine, where do you implement this? They have no idea. It's like a plus b whole square. Okay, they have practiced that formula all year long. They ask, why do we need this? They don't. Okay, so until the students understand why they need it, why they are studying it, okay, where do they implement it, even students won't be able to understand or go beyond their ability. He might be amazing in studies, but he is not in practical. He might be amazing in practical, but he might be having a lot of issues when it comes to skills. So skill set is the most important requirement for any student. Okay, so yes, as you told, They will be wonderful in studies, but they don't know how or like in which this particular department they can implement it. Applying is the skill set. Okay, so there's one line that I don't want to drag this, but there's one thing that I always tell in whenever I visit universities. Whatever you study, it is not knowledge you are gaining; it's information. If you know where to use that information, that will become knowledge. But if you know how to apply it, that is skills. Okay, if you know how to apply it and you implement it, then you are skilled up. If you don't know where to utilize it, then it will just remain as knowledge. And if you don't know where you are utilizing it, very simply it is just information that you have gotten, not the knowledge. So when it comes to these kind of things, the practicality of learning comes in hand. If they don't have skill set, of course they will always fall on like fall prey to this. What educational institutes do. Okay, you come here, you gain knowledge, you will definitely get a job. No, like where are the skill sets for the job? They don't know what they have studied and where they have studied, but they have the information. Let them understand that information and know where they can implement it. This is one thing they actually miss out. I hope that I have answered.
Yeah, sure. Maybe the saddest part of society today is we don't think initially. We take 4 years of
Yes.
engineering to think what to do ahead.
Definitely.
Yes.
After 4 years, I will be
Thank,
I'll keep on thinking what to do, what to do.
uh, thank you very much again to Dipti and to Nandan for joining us today in making this wrap up of the Outreach Sarabhai theme of the new space era today. And now